Facebook.com/Eric the Conqueror, YouTube.com/user/The Sandman 047. Alright, my film ran out. This is part two. And I was just speaking about adolescent behavior and raising your children and hitting. And I think it's okay to an extent, but like, everything has to do with moderation and control, right? It's actually getting quite chilly too, so I realize that's also probably why I've been busy too. Uh, Side rant. If you ever notice the changing of the season, that's usually a really busy time. I mean, summer was pretty lax, and then around August, I want to say 15th. August 15th was the changeover. From August 15th on, it's been hectic and busy, and it's just been. I thought it was just me, but I looked around and everybody else is busy too, and like you can totally tell because the weather started getting chillier. The weather started getting more hectic. People's lives starting because we start panicking. We're like, oh no, our summer's almost over, and like children have to go back to school, and like our whole mindset just changes, and like it's healthy, it's good for us. And seasons are important because if it was summer all the time, then we would end up with a scorched earth, and if it was winter all the time, nothing would grow. Anyways, side note, yeah, kids, hitting your kids, it's perfect. I think it's perfectly fine. I mean, to an extent, like it's not okay to beat your kids, but it's okay for like, say your kids acting. I don't know. Personally, I look at animals and I think I look at how they behave and how they interact. If you ever notice like a mother taking care of her cubs, she will never lash out and beat her kids out of spite or like excessively. If the cub does something wrong, she will give a quick and swift punishment and be on her way. So I think it's punishment and all that shit should and all that like behavior control stuff should be dished out quickly and efficiently. And I think it's very stupid if you I'm not a fan of prolonged timeouts or prolonged detentions or like shit like that. Like like fuck that shit. Like I don't know. Like if your kid is acting out or if somebody needs to be disciplined, firstly the situation should be assessed. What the person is doing and how they're doing it. If it's just something minor, then I think that an intellectual conversation will do, and that'll be good for your child's development because it'll develop how they think and how they act and all that shit. And yeah, I think it'll be good for them because they'll learn and they'll learn from their mistakes. And if warranted, I think like a good like a light tap, like like hitting the back of their hand, or like if it's really bad, like I mean, say your kid hits you, then what do you do, right? I mean, I don't know. Actually, I was from the same article. It was actually I can't remember the guy's name. He actually had a little discussion about this as well. It was like younger children and all that. They do not understand the fact that they don't understand the difference in like levels. Like they think that like a child genuinely thinks that he can beat you up if he says he can. He like at the age of 5, he genuinely believes that he is just as strong as you, and you know, and that's good to an extent, right? But it's alright. This dog always goes nuts, and yeah. So beating your kids, I mean, it's not okay, but like I don't know. It depends on what they do, and I'm not a parent right now. Not a parent yet, I should say. I do plan on. Well, everybody. I mean, I've also noticed that lately I've been maturing, and uh, even a few years ago, and like even 6 months ago, I would be afraid. Like the topic of marriage and like raising a family and like getting married and all that used to like make me feel very uncomfortable and uh, like scared actually, like borderline crazy. Like my friends would bring it up and I would just like start panicking, freaking out, and like it was very stupid and childish to say the least. And lately I've matured quite a bit. I've noticed that, and I'm able to carry on conversations about. I mean, it still scares the hell out of me, right? I mean, who isn't scared, right? I mean, there probably aren't, but I think it's you know, I'm getting to the age of maturity. You know, I'm almost 25, and a man never really matures. Let's be honest here. But you know, as mature as I can be. I mean, within context, I love this moon. It's so bright tonight. Yeah. Anyways, that's just Oh yeah. Quick little side note. Stargazing is actually very good for your eyes because most of the time we're inside all the time, and we're not really exercising our far sight, and our corneas and our cornea is a muscle, and like say like so let's take a bicep curl for instance, because that's like fuck. I mean, I don't even do bicep arms and all that, but that's like the most universal. Like everybody knows what a fucking bicep curl is, right? So if you're doing a bicep curl and you're only doing the top half of the motion all year round, your arm will get very tight, and in order to release that pressure, you have to do the full range. Like, you know, you have to use the bottom range. And that's the same with your eyes. If you're not using the full range all the time and you're only using the short range, you have to balance that out by, you know, using the far range exclusively. Oh, wow. I've actually noticed this happening to me a lot. I don't know if it's like a little coincidence or not, but sometimes street lights will turn off and on as I'm passing. I don't know if it means anything or if it's just, you know, coincidence, but whatever. I like to think I'm special. Not really, but you know, it could be. We're all energetic. We're all beings made of energy, right? So that could be something. And you know, I'm talking about something cool right now. And yeah, so it's important to look at far things, and you know, so that your vision doesn't uh, weaken, like, so you don't lose the ability to see far. And it's very important. I think everybody should, like, they say that if you're at a desk job, you should, like, every 20 minutes or an hour or so, you should get up and walk around and look at something at least 20 yards away. So what's further than the stars? I don't know. So I like to a couple times a day, I like to actually close one eye and use one eye for a couple of seconds, couple minutes, and test out my range of vision, far and near. And then I like to do the other, and then I like to do both. And I think that's borderline OCD because I do that with everything. So I do that in the gym, I do that here, I do that, like, anything I do, most of the time I do that. So quite thirsty here. Anyways, yeah. Also, we don't drink enough water. People need to drink more water. I don't remember what I was talking about, but childhood behavior, yeah, all that. You know, it's not rocket science, right? I mean, I'm saying it's not, but I've matured quite a bit, I think, and it's quite apparent. I think a lot of people will agree with me when I say that I've matured quite a bit lately, and it's cool. To me, it's cool at least, and I can see myself growing and maturing. Uh, you know, I think it's a, I think it's a crazy world we live in, and like, uh, it's actually, I've actually, like, we always run into the same people, and even if we don't run into the same people, we run into the same stereotypes over and over. And I'm not trying to say that stereotypes are, like, I'm better than them and I'm not a stereotype or anything like that, but it's quite prevalent. Like, everywhere we look, that kind of shit happens. And I might be being arrogant and like self-centered, or like not self-centered, but like arrogant, and I don't know what the word is, but sometimes like I see people and I have this like, and I feel like judging them, but then I come to think of myself like, oh, no, I shouldn't judge these people because this and that. But at the same time, I can usually look at people and kind of determine how they were raised and why they're doing the things that they're doing, and it's just in my nature to try to get to the root cause of everything. And you know, I'll see somebody being passive aggressive to their wife or husband, and instantly I'll think, oh yeah, this person's passive aggressive because they have inferiority complex, because of maybe the other person makes more money than them, or maybe they think that the other person is more attractive, and like, I don't know, it happens, right? And it's actually, I've noticed that I know a few people who are actually like everybody's disobedient to their parents to an extent, but there's some people who are just like who have just been broken into like and brainwashed and programmed into uh into the hierarchy, like like Hitler mode, like you know what I mean? It's just it's crazy to me, like how programmable we are as human beings, and anything is programmable. Any living thing can be manipulated. It shouldn't be manipulated, but it can be manipulated. That's the message I'm trying to say. Like flowers, plants, trees, people, animals. I mean, to an extent, everything can be manipulated, and it is to an extent, not on purpose, but it still is. Like, anyways, that was quite a good walk, and I got quite a few things that I needed to say out of the way. If you like my content, please like it, please share it, and please comment. Tell me what you want to hear about. Uh, I do enjoy debating and discussing. So if you have a camera, send me a discussion, send me a debate. Let's talk things out. My primary goal for this is to get as much coverage for my ideas as possible and to learn and grow while I'm doing it. I mean, I see some of the other channels who actually do this kind of stuff to make money. I mean, that would be cool too, but at the same time, I'm not like that's not my reason. That's not my primary reason for this. But I do want to get as much coverage as possible. So, I want my ideas to be out there, and I want if you have your ideas, share them with me. And if you want to share an idea and you're afraid of what people might think. I don't know. I'm not saying that you're weak or anything, but I'm saying like say for instance you do want to stay anonymous, send it to me and I will voice your opinion for you. I will be your voice if you really want me to. And yeah, so that's all I wanted to say. Damn. Yeah, my throat is very parched. Anyways, have a good night. And I hope everybody's enjoying the last little bit of summer. And it doesn't always have to be popping. It doesn't always have to be summer. So let's remember that summer will once again come. It's important to enjoy all the seasons. Anyways, this has been Eric, and I hope you enjoyed my vlog, journal, rant, whatever you want to call this. I don't really define it as anything either. So I'll see you next time. Stay thirsty, my friends. Oh wait, I can't even say that. That's copyrighted. Sorry. I don't even know. Stay awake.